than to start by doing just that. So I'm going to go to the next screen, and I'm going to turn this call over to Mr. Smith and Mr. Bunch, who will share some more details with you. Stand by here. All right, gentlemen, let me go ahead and spotlight you. Bobby, I'm sure you want to add some commentary there, and I'm going to go ahead and add in Mr. Bunch as well. There you go, gentlemen.
Yeah, and I think it's Jim's call. I don't know if he wanted to take a moment and answer any questions that we have before he does his thing, or Jim, your call.
Well, I think if someone has questions in the chat, it's a great place to go. A number of you were invited by your guests because you've been looking at this business, and now's the right time for you to go ahead and get back with them. They'll give you a link to register so that you can join their team. And as Charles says, they can mentor you, they can coach you, they can support you in helping you close your first solar deals. And so we'll give you a second or two to do that. While we're doing that, I'd love to just see in the chat if we can turn it back on, because in my section, I want to keep it live and interactive if possible. So do me a favor, type into the chat, who's brand new? Like this is the first time that you've seen me or Charles or Bobby here at Powur or this presentation. So if we have some new people on, I'd love to see that. It'll help me customize this next piece of the conversation. So welcome, Aaron. Great to see you on here. And is that Daisy Flores? Welcome. All right, and Maria Vargas. Varga is here from Maria Vargas. Perfect. Welcome, welcome. And Letty says, I'm new. Isaac says, I'm new. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, again, get back with the person who brought you here. And what Charles explained that I love is we are all about team, and we're all about mentoring and coaching. And so now the next part of this, they asked me to come on and to share a little bit about what does it take to truly take your life and your business to another level. And I've been fortunate enough to have some of the most amazing mentors in my life. And I'm curious, how many of you, just type into the chat, everybody, if you had a mentor or a coach in your past, now maybe it was a teacher, maybe it was an athletic coach, maybe it was a parent who took an interest in you. If you had a mentor or a coach who made an impact in your life, go ahead and type that into the chat. Just type that in, right? So type in that person if you want to share their name, or just, yeah, I've had somebody who made an impact in my life. When I think back to the mentors I've had in my life, my first mentor was actually the dentist who my mom worked for. My mom was a dental hygienist, and I grew up in a dentist's office, right? So after school, if I wasn't at home by myself, that's where I would go to, was the dentist's office. So I was a kid running around, and his name was Dr. Torres, Ernesto Torres. He was from Puerto Rico. He was extremely passionate about life and about business, and he wanted to groom me to take over his dental practice at one point. What I didn't realize at that young age, in my early teens and even younger than that, was he was grooming me. He was mentoring me. And he wasn't just giving me life advice or business advice. He was giving me advice about anything and everything that I didn't even know I wanted to know about relationships, about money, about health, about vitality, all of these different things, right? And so he became my first mentor. And what's funny is a lot of people don't know this. He actually gave me a bootleg copy of Tony Robbins' personal power tapes. And when I say bootleg, I mean, he had bought them and he ripped a copy of those for me. And as I was getting ready to go to college, he gave me these tapes and he said, Jimmy, he was so passionate. Jimmy, you have got to listen to these tapes. These tapes will change your life. This guy, he's got something. Now, little did I know, years later, only a handful, 5 years later, I would actually meet and go to work with Tony Robbins at the age of 23. I graduated college. I was pre-med. I thought I was going to go to med school. But lo and behold, I started my first business in college. And that took me, one path led to the next that led to an next, where I met Tony Robbins. And I went to work for Tony Robbins for free on the road for over a year with a small group of people. And I say for free because we were commission only. We only ate what we killed, in other words. And every 8 weeks, we'd get dropped into a different city. What I learned from Tony would be the foundation that I would then build upon to build multiple companies, to live a life that is by design, not by default, to have incredible friends, to have health and vitality, and to do things that I believe are actually making an impact in the world. So every one of you who's had a mentor, right? Somebody who invested some time and energy in you, the gift that they gave you will pay dividends forever. And I wanted to share with you a key to what we're going to be teaching at the upcoming convention, because in my life's experience, the people who've invested a little bit of time in me, if I was open and I was willing to apply it, I was open to the message, I would truly listen, right? And then I would apply it, I would test it, I would see if it was true for me. Those people that invested in me gave me the most incredible gift ever. And so I want to share with you, and this is what we're doing over the course of the next couple of weeks before our event, which is February 19th and 20th, and Bobby and Charles can put a link in there, because if you haven't registered for this event, I'm going to take you back 30 years ago when I went to my first event. My first big event like this was actually an event for a network marketing nutrition company. And I remember going to that event and I bought into something called freedom. How many of you have ever heard a message and you knew that it resonated, that you wanted something other than what you had? You wanted more. And you knew there was a gap between where you were and the people that you saw on stage, the people that were teaching you, the people that were lecturing. And for whatever reason, your soul woke up, not just your mind, right? But your heart and your soul. You see, there's something magical that happens when you get around people who have been there and done it. When you get around people who are sharing their decades of wisdom, it lights up a piece of your soul. And I'm going to share a piece tonight of the 5 categories. And I'm going to share my screen for a moment because I think this is important for us to visually see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to see if I can share my iPad here. And let's hope that this works. It worked earlier. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a piece of information that was shared with me that literally changed the direction of my life. And it wasn't from Tony Robbins. It was from one of my mentors after Tony that helped me understand Tony's concepts and his beliefs and put a container around it so I could actually work with it. Because it's one thing to hear about the power of beliefs or the shifting of your identity or designing environments. And it's another to have something tangible that you can actually work with and massage or manipulate. So this framework right here, by the way, is the framework that we're going to be teaching all of our content at the Scale Up event. If you are brand new in solar, or maybe been around for a little while, or maybe you're a pro, if you got one idea that took you from no money to 5 figures, or 5 figures to 6 figures, or 6 figures to 7, or for some of you, you're hitting the 7 figure, but you want to hit high 7 figures. If you pull out one idea out of 48 hours, is it worth your investment of time? I used to listen to Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor and Jack Canfield and Deepak Chopra and John Ashraf and all these people who were friends of mine, became mentors, became business partners. Every one of them, I would sit with a journal every time we would talk, and I would write down feverish notes. As a matter of fact, if you look over here, I've got my lights and camera on, but this right here is just a handful of my journals that are filled with notes from the people that I've been learning from for the last 30 years. Okay, so we're sharing with you this 5-part framework because last week I spoke about the skills for success, right? So I went in and I said, there's really only 2 skills that are necessary in this business. Number 1, you've got to learn how to sell solar. And there's a couple of key things. You got to learn how to generate that lead. You got to learn how to use the Powur platform, and you got to learn how to convert that lead. But if you know how to sell solar, like Charles mentioned, you can make a great income selling solar and making a difference, helping homeowners and removing carbon from the atmosphere. That's pretty cool to align impact and income. So that's number 1 skill that you have to learn, is how to sell solar. Number 2 is, how do I sell more solar? Well, you can only do so much yourself, but you can learn how to build teams that sell solar. That's all we do. We either sell solar or we build a team that sells solar. One of my good friends, Chris Heller, is the past CEO of Keller Williams. Now, Chris started as an agent, became one of the top selling agents, and then he bought multiple offices, became a broker, became one of the top brokers in the company, and is the only person to have been an agent, a broker, and the CEO of all Keller Williams, with over 150,000 agents who sell homes all day, right? That's what they do. They sell homes. But what a lot of people don't know is they don't just sell homes, they help teams sell homes. So they mentor, they coach, they train those people, and then a piece of that 3% commission goes back to them for being that mentor. That's what's so beautiful about this process. We can all sell more solar. We can accelerate the adoption of clean energy by doing 2 things: selling solar and building a team that sells solar. right? In the event, we're going to teach you the strategies and systems. How is it that they're generating leads? What is the best strategy? What kind of conversions are they getting? What are the nuances, the things that they're doing that are different than the people who aren't getting the success? So we're going to teach you the skills. We're going to teach you the exact strategies and systems that our top leaders are doing. And I'm going to show you in a moment what that is. We're going to teach you how to become a world-class leader. We're even going to walk out of there with a 4-week and a 12-month game plan. You're going to know exactly what you should be doing all day, every day to maximize your income every single hour of the day. We're not going to leave anything to guess. But here's what I wanted to talk about tonight. This right here. How do you develop $1 million plus mindset? And see, if we teach you the skills for success, and we teach you the strategies and systems, and we teach you how to become a leader, and we even show you exactly what to do day in and day out. Don't wake up and guess what you should be doing. You should know whether you're doing high income, high impact activities, or you're doing low dollar, low income activities every day. But here's the one thing, and I messed up because I was going to teach this last week and I taught skills for success instead. So today I'm going back and I'm going to teach the $1 million mindset. I can teach you all the skills, all the strategies, how to be a leader, and even develop a plan. But if you don't have the proper mindset, if there's a part of your inner game that isn't wired properly, it doesn't matter what we teach you. It doesn't matter what we install in there. If you don't have the mindset that allows you to stay focused on the highest income and impact activities, this will just be more information. How many of you, show hands, be honest, how many of you have bought the books? You've been to the seminars, right? You've promised yourself that you were going to set and achieve those goals. And in some way, shape, or form, maybe you hit some of them, but you fell short of what you actually thought you could do, right? Be honest. So this is why. And when I learned this model from Bob Proctor, it literally changed my life, because with Tony Robbins, he was telling me that you need to change your beliefs, right? Now, most of you know this information, right? And Tony Robbins talked about 2 types of belief. He talked about a positive or empowering belief, and he talked about a negative or limiting belief. All right. Now, this is a great concept. And basically what it says is if I have empowering beliefs, I have the confidence, I have the feeling, I have the ability to take those actions and get that results. But if somebody says to me, hey, here's how you create 7 figures. Here's how you build a passive income. Here's how you invest. Here's how you do fill in the blank. And for whatever reason, I have limiting beliefs. I can't do that for whatever reason. I will not take action consistently and I won't get the result. So Robbins explained that to me. And although we did a lot of work on beliefs, I never understood, how do I change those beliefs? How do I identify what my beliefs are? And then how do I change them? So here's one of the things we're going to teach at the event. And just for the sake of time, I'm going to give you this concept called the stick man. Now, some of you have seen this before, but unless you can teach this, you haven't mastered it yet. Okay. And unless you've applied it in your life. So this right here is what Bob Proctor called the stick man. And he said, this is a model. And by the way, he learned this from a chiropractor down in Dallas, Texas. And he said, every result that we are producing in our life, so the R stands for results. And for the sake of simplicity, you're producing one of 2 categories of results. You're either producing happiness, health, and wealth, or you are producing a result called unhappy, sick, and broke. All right. Now you may be producing one and not the other, or 2 or 3 or whatever, but the results are what matter. Why do we mess with our beliefs? Because our beliefs drive our behavior, which drives our results. If we want to know what we believe, all you have to do is take a look at your what? At your results. Now, here's the thing I'm going to share with you. If you are producing results that are other than what you want, it's not your fault. It is not your fault. It is, however, your what? It's not your fault. It's your responsibility. Okay? Response, and I'm going to spell this wrong, ability on purpose. Your ability to respond. If you cannot respond, if you are in reaction mode, if you are subconsciously programmed to have limiting beliefs, and I'll share with you what they are in a minute, the most damaging limiting beliefs you can have, then it's it's highly likely and predictable that you are going to produce the unhappy, sick, and broke result. You may have temporary success. You may even start out great at the beginning of the new year. You start that workout program and you make it 2, 3, 4 weeks in, and all of a sudden you find an excuse. Oh, well, life's too busy. Oh, the Super Bowl's on. Oh, you know what? I got injured. And then guess what? The next couple of months, you fall back into your old programming. You may start off great in your business and you hit the same amount of income you hit the year before, maybe a little higher, but then all of a sudden you start to sabotage and go right back to your old behaviors. If the subconscious does not change, the results cannot change consistently. So let's back this in here, okay? Here's the simple reality. All of our results are produced based on our what? Go ahead and type this into the chat. What is it that dictates our results? Every result is based on what? The actions we do or don't take every single day. Now, when we take those actions consistently, they actually become habits. All a habit is a unconscious action I take without having to think about it, okay? So I take these actions. Now, in the case of solar, right? You're either selling solar or you're what? You're building teams. If you are doing those actions every single day, you're going to be sitting in the seat of the leaders that we're talking about, whether it's Charles or whether it's Edgardo or Anaí or Maria or Edgardo or Melissa or all the people I'm about to introduce you to. They are taking actions every day, all right? And they are either taking actions to sell solar or to build teams. That's the primary focus. Everything else is a distraction, okay? Now, what is it that drives these actions? For many people, it's two things. It's what am I thinking and what am I feeling? What are my thoughts and what are my feelings? So our thinking comes conscious and subconscious, which leads to our feelings. And that, my friends, is the formula. It's not that difficult. But here's the thing. Up here is our conscious mind and down here is our subconscious mind. Which is more powerful? Type this into the chat. Your conscious mind or your subconscious mind? Now, while you answer this, I'm going to give you a little insight here. Your conscious mind has the ability to accept or reject ideas, okay? Your conscious mind has the ability to accept or reject ideas, okay? So if I tell you right now, do 10 push-ups, right? You can say, I don't want to do that. All right, so consciously, you can reject that idea. However, what just went into your subconscious? 10 push-ups. Let me give you an example of how powerful this is. Don't think of the number 3. Don't think of the number 3. Don't think of the number 3. What did you automatically think of? You thought of the number 3, because what happens is when the outside world gives a command, it goes straight into the subconscious. Now, why is this important? Because from the age of 0 to 10, and then 10 to 20, and then 20 to 30, you laid down all of your core beliefs. The external environment programmed you. It programmed you to either be happy, healthy, and wealthy, HHW, or unhappy, sick, and broke. How do you know? Look at your results and the people who are around you. Who were the people around you from the age of 0 to 10? Were they happy, healthy, and wealthy, or unhappy, sick, and broke? Who are the people around you from 10 to 20 and 20 to 30? Now, 10 to 20 is when we begin to reject the ideas over here consciously, but subconsciously, all the programming is there, okay? So here's the reality. You are either programmed with positive, inspiring beliefs about money, about business, about life, about relationships, or you are programmed with limiting beliefs about those same things. Depending on what you're programmed with is going to determine how you feel, right? How you think, how you feel, what actions you do or don't take, and of course, the results you produce. The good news is that we're actually not just going to teach you this cerebrally, because right now you're getting this mentally. We're going to actually help you rewire it at the event. At the event, we're going to help you install the same positive beliefs. So imagine this. Imagine if you had an open mind and we said that we're going to take the best beliefs, the most positive and empowering beliefs, the best strategies, the best ideas from our leaders, and we were not just going to teach them to you, we were going to help you rewire your neural pathways at the event so that you produce the results of the people in our company who are producing the highest amount of income, having the greatest impact, and having a blast doing it. Imagine if we took their beliefs about money, their beliefs about solar, their beliefs about building a team, and we replaced their beliefs, or replaced your beliefs with their beliefs. What would the results be? Pretty empowering, right? How many of you would like to automatically be able to install beliefs of some of the most successful people in any industry? You see, what most people do is they go around and they ask all the wrong people for advice. They ask all the wrong people for information. And what they're doing unconsciously, especially if they're tapped into the media, is they're programming themselves to fail every single day. And they wonder why they're not getting ahead in life or business. We're also going to teach you about this concept called the environment and the importance of you designing your environments, not doing life by default, but life by design, because the environments are working on you. They're programming you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? How many of you are feeling some resonance with what I shared? Like, you know that there's some truth in this for you, that there's a part of you that wants to upgrade. There's a part of you that knows that there's something inside that you can shift. There's something inside of you that if you just knew exactly what to install, you know that you would think, feel, and act differently and start to change your life, right? This is the reality. If you look around and you don't have positive, supportive mentors showing you exactly what to do, you have got to be at the event. And even if you do, you should be there. Why? Because guess where all the mentors are going to be? The mentors know the number one thing that they can do to take their game and their business to the next level is invest in themselves every single day. Charles reads every day. I read every day. Jonathan reads every day. Bobby reads every day. Edgardo, we said it here when he rented a mansion and brought his team out in California. Every single day he is reading, and he's got Diego and the rest of his team learning, growing every single day. If who you are today is not different in a year, then you're doing something wrong. The purpose of us is to evolve. It's to grow. It's to challenge ourselves. It's not to be the same. It's to continue to improve. And so when we talk about these 5 things, I'm going to go back and share screen again. This is really important for you to understand. You have to, and by the way, somebody just said hard to, and by the way, feel free to type in, all right? And if it's cool, I'm going to give you a little coaching here. So Steve LaChance just put something in the chat, and Steve, I'm not going to pick on you, but I want to show you something, okay? What you just shared is a what? You just shared something called a what? A belief, okay? So Steve just shared a belief that said, I'm going to type this in here, change is hard. If that's our belief and somebody says, hey, here's a new idea, right? A new idea that could make you some money. And you have the core belief that says change is hard. What is the likely result of somebody taking action? No action. They're not going to take action, and therefore they're not going to get the financial result that they want. Do you see how quickly that happens? We reject the positive ideas because the programming is beneath. Now, do you know what the number one belief that humanity has installed right now that is causing the most pain, the most suffering, the most frustration is? Type it in the chat if you think you know what the number one belief is that humanity right now has been programmed with. We didn't always have this. We actually adopted this in the last 100 years as a species. And it's part of our personal mission to eliminate this belief. And I'm going to give you a little hint before I tell you what it is. The end result of this belief is you either have abundance or you have scarcity. That's the R of this belief, right? So you're either producing a result of scarcity or you're producing a result of abundance. What do you think that belief is? It's actually a lie. That's the crazy thing about this. The belief is not enough. All right. And where that goes to is, I'm not enough. There isn't enough. Whether it's time, money, energy, knowledge, wisdom, whatever it is. This is actually not true. The truth is abundance. Okay? Take a look at anything on this planet and ask yourself, is it really in scarce supply? It's not. It's in abundance. They may have a distribution issue. There's no shortage of air on this planet. As a matter of fact, of all 9 that you could have landed on, which one has the most abundance of air? This one. Which one has the most abundance of water? This one. Now, 99% of it is in salt, but guess what? There's devices and machines right now. I was just on a conference earlier today that is pulling it out of the atmosphere and putting it into our homes, producing gallons and gallons every day. Now, guess what all that takes? Energy, right? It takes energy to pull that out of the air, but there's no shortage of water. If you look out over my balcony right here, it's the Pacific Ocean. This planet is covered with water. There is no shortage of water. There's no shortage of money. There are trillions and trillions of dollars changing hands every single second of the day. You may not have figured out how to align with it. You may think that you don't deserve it, right? You may think that there's not enough of it, but that's not true. There is more abundance today. You live better today than the kings and queens did when they ruled the earth. Think about that. You have more modern luxury and convenience, but your mindset may not be allowing you to participate in it. Okay? So I share this because we're going to teach you at the event the skills for success. Okay? Let me put this back. We're going to teach you the skills for success. We're going to teach you the exact strategies. Don't waste your time on stuff that isn't working. We've been talking to every one of the mentors and leaders. What exactly is working and what isn't? We're going to save you that time. We're going to teach you how to develop yourself as a leader and develop other leaders because they coach and mentor people, and that adds to your income. We're going to work with you on your exact game plan so that the event is Friday and Saturday, the 19th and 20th of February. You're going to take Sunday to relax and refresh and recharge. And on Monday, we're all going to go into a 4-week challenge, a momentum creating challenge, so that you come out and have the best month ever in your business, right? The results you're producing in this business are 45 to 90 days based on they're 45 to 90 day lag, meaning the work you do today will show up in 45 to 90 days. If you're receiving paychecks today, it's because you did work 45 to 90 days ago. So we're going to work with you on the exact game plan. But this, my friends, is the key. We can teach you all the how-tos. We can show you step by step. And here's what's crazy. We will have people that you'll be sitting next to, and you got to decide which one of these you are. Somebody who's going to be sitting there, won't be making any money. They hear exactly what we say. They have a shift. They have a breakthrough. They have a breakout moment, and they leave that event and they fulfill all their dreams. We have people that are making 6 figures a month who never sold solar before, and they're doing it in record time. What's different? The software is the same. The opportunity is the same. The skills and strategies are the same. It's the mindset. They made a decision and they made a shift. They got it. And then there'll be somebody sitting right next to them who's been around this for 5, 10, 20 years, and they keep doubting it. They keep questioning it. They keep wondering if. So I share this with you because every one of you has to make a decision that you're ready to have that breakthrough instead of that breakdown. Right now, there are 30 to 40 million people just in the United States that are looking for a positive place to create an impact and to create an income. I want to encourage you, overcome whatever limiting belief you have about making $97, or if you're going to do VIP, I think there's less than 50 tickets VIP left, right? And there are some advantages to VIP. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and share screen here, because the purpose of me coming on here is to inspire with you, to connect with you, to get you to make that decision to join us at the event. I promise you it's going to be transformational. So you've already heard me talk about the framework, developing a mindset, the skills, the strategies, the leader, and the game plan. We have hired an awesome keynote speaker in 𝘚𝘒𝘓𝘓𝘚. He is one of the world's leading experts on energy and disruption. He's going to share with us exactly where the future is. My good friend Lynn Herring, who has this unshakable presence about the future of what we need to do with energy. Our founders, Bill and Lynn Twist of Pachamama Alliance, they're the reason that we started this company in the first place. Of course, Jonathan Budd, the CEO and founder, myself, Bobby Smith, Charles Thompson, and look at the leaders who are willing, and I want to do a special shout out to Melissa Dawson here for a second, because, you know, it would be really easy for these leaders to not share their secrets, to come from a competitive mindset. But a competitive mindset is a mindset of scarcity. It's not a mindset of abundance. But our leaders, every one of them said, we're going to open up the kimono. We're going to share exactly what we do. We're going to teach you how we do it in the event, right? So this is pretty cool. So Edgardo and Melissa, by the way, sent me a text on the side. And she's like, you know what? I kind of felt that, like, I don't know if I want to share this strategy, but I know it's the right thing to do. I know it's coming from a place of abundance, right? When you think about the Olympics were designed because we had the best athletes in the world and they were better than anybody in their country. So we had to pull other people from other countries. So they had somebody to compete with, not to win, but to make themselves better, to see what their potential was. And we've got people that are earning high 6 and 7 figures right now. They're not even close to their potential. I promise you that every one of these leaders is going to get way more out of this event than they have time to give, because they're learners, because they apply this stuff. And I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. They're each going to share their secrets. They're going to share their strategies. I'm going to ask you to show up, to play full out, to play to win, to leave your egos at the door, and to leave your limited mindsets in the past. Every one of you has the opportunity to take your life to another level or to buy into your old excuses, right? It's that simple. So early bird is $99. VIP is $199. I wish somebody had sold me this kind of information when I was just starting my business. It would have saved me a decade of figuring these things out. A decade. Charles has been in this business for 30 years. If you think that you can sit down with anybody who's making 7 figures for $99 or $200 and get this kind of knowledge, you are mistaken, my friends. I can promise you this. There are people who hit me up every day who want to learn about business, and it's a hefty price. As a matter of fact, I won't even do it now because we're building, as Charles said, a multi-billion-dollar, if not bigger, opportunity for you. We paid out more commissions this year than anyone in this industry, and next year we're going to double or triple it. So the real question is how much of that do you want? Can you get paid to learn and sell solar? The answer is yes. We want you to go on a journey with us, every single one of us. All right. So that, my friends, is my most impassioned presentation. I'm happy to answer a couple of questions. I know we're at the top of the hour. I thank you for staying on extra. For those of you who are brand new, there couldn't be a better way for you to start your business. We only do this once a year. This is our national convention. The cool thing is, and Bobby said this really well the other night, he's like, you don't have to leave your home. You don't have to spend money on a plane ticket. You don't have to spend money on a hotel. You don't have to spend money on food or alcohol. You don't have to put yourself at risk by being around a bunch of other people. This is going to be broadcast into your home. And we have just built a headquarters that is going to take all of you and put you up on screens, a 360-degree screen, not like my background here, but literally surrounded. We'll be able to see you. We'll be able to talk to you. We'll be able to interact with you, right? It's going to be an incredible experience like none that you've ever experienced. It's not your grandpa's old Zoom. We're going to have you up. We're going to have you moving. We're going to be doing energy exercises. And one of the things that I'm working on is actually, how do you reprogram your subconscious to be in a powerful state every single minute that you need to be on with your business? Have more energy, more focus, and more power every time you're approaching your business. Okay. So Aaron said, do we take people outside of the US? Anyone who is in Powur can join this event. So register now. If you haven't joined Powur, then register for this event, right? We'll make sure that you get taken care of. It's literally the best way to start. Yes, you can from outside the US. Whoever brought you here will have to teach you or introduce you to the modules that will teach you how do you build your business when you're in an area where we don't have installers. Because right now we're only installing in the United States. So that's a great question. You have to build your business strategically, right? It's different than somebody who lives in an area where they have installers and they're talking to their neighbors. Okay, but there are strategies, and there's plenty of people on here who have built their businesses in states or countries where they don't live, where we have installers, but they don't live. Okay. And yes, somebody asked about Spanish. We are going to have Spanish translation in real time. So you'll have that. Any other questions, Bobby or Charles, anything that I missed out that you want to echo while we take a few questions here?
No, Jim, brilliantly laid out, folks. I'll tell you from the field perspective, Jim said it a few times, it's going to take just one simple concept that you pick up in those 2 days that will change the game. And listen to what Jim shared with you tonight about the $1 million mindset. Imagine that. That's one fraction of the whole scheme of what you're going to see. And the benefits that will come out of this are just immense. So I couldn't say more from my heart that this will change the game for you. If you're new to the business, if you've been in the business for a month, a year, 6 years, it's a must to be here and pick up these skills.
Yep. I'll do a quick share, everybody. When I got into a company that was team building, I came from medical education, as some of you know. Somebody talked to me about events, and I thought, I don't need that. I don't need to be around a bunch of cheering people. I don't need the yeah. I don't need any of that. I didn't need that. Well, I went. And what I did not realize then was it would be the cornerstone of a business that took me all around the world, that bought me a lifestyle that people dream of. My company became the second most profitable privately held company on the Inc. 500 list. I went from I don't need that event, and that was spending $2,000 traveling, hotels, food, transportation, to understanding that it was the cornerstone of everything that I would be doing for that decade. There is nothing more important than events.
100%. You know, I'm thinking about people who, you know, maybe haven't been to something like this before, and it is not like what we're doing here. I will tell you that this is 1/1000th of what we're going to do at the event. We will be doing exercises. We'll be doing movements. You'll be doing actual breakouts and workshops to work on your business plan, to fine tune your strategy, to make sure that you ingrain these things in it. So I've designed this experience, and that's what it is. It's an experience to be fun and inspiring, to manage your energy and your peak state, to put you in what we call an accelerated learning technique. Sitting down like this for an hour at a time is not accelerated learning, right? This is probably the worst way to learn. It's how most of our kids were bored to death in school, and that's why everybody drooled on their desk and fell asleep, right? We're not going to be doing that, right? So we are going to actually make it fun. It's going to be inspiring. You will form some friendships because you'll be in breakout groups with amazing people. You're going to learn from the keynote speakers. You're going to learn from our leaders. You're going to build relationships. It's really cool. I didn't honestly believe that this could be done in a virtual and remote environment, but I paid to go to 2 events, and both of those events blew my mind. So we built this studio because we saw the future of being able to train. And what's cool is, like Bobby said, there are the numbers show right now that 400% more people are showing up to these virtual events than they would if it was in a hotel room somewhere. 400%. That's 4x your business. So everyone on your team needs to be there. And if they're struggling getting $99 or $199 together, the first thing they need to work on is their mindset. My 5-year-old wanted an Xbox. He came up with $150. I matched him $300 for an Xbox. It took him less than 90 days. He collected cans at 5 cents and 10 cents, and I drove him up there. He was 5 years old. So I don't want to hear any excuses, because that's your old limiting belief. That's the mindset that's keeping you from even stepping into the arena of 6 and 7 and 8 figures. You have to earn the right to be with some of these people, and we're giving it to you for $200. What most of you are spending on your cable TV subscription, right? And what's that getting most people? It's getting access to more information that's dumbing them down. It's called the income reducer for a reason. That TV box is programming people, TV programming, to mediocrity. We want to give you a chance at freedom. We want to give you an opportunity to think and act like the millionaires and billionaires who are sharing their information. That's why we're here. And we are doing this because every single one of you that we free up from your old limiting beliefs, you become a power warrior in helping us free up another person and another person and another person. It's our responsibility, our ability to respond to these changing times, that's going to determine the future of every single one of you. And we take that very personal. Why is it Bobby and Charles and myself and everyone are willing to do these calls and these Zooms hour after hour after hour? Because we know that if we touch your life and you turn around and touch somebody else and somebody else, the ripple impact effect means that we're going around the world. We've already proven that is now one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. And my friends, we have just been laying the foundation. We have just been laying the foundation. We have to help each one of you level up your game in order for us to meet our mission. So let us help you make that decision. Come join us, let go of your fears, develop that confidence, and let's go crush this thing. So thank you for staying on. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Have an awesome night. Go register right now. Get over your excuses. Come join us. And I promise you, this will be a year that you'll look back on and go, that was the moment that everything changed. Thank you.